What's up guys, it's Hannah
and Kaden,
and today we are using and reviewing this Icefox action camera.
If you guys have been following along on our channel, you will know that Hannah and I are both very adventurous people, so we're always on a hike, snowboarding, something like that, but we're also balling on a budget. We would love to be able to afford big name brands like GoPro, DJI, stuff like that, but so far, YouTube and content creation hasn't paid us a ton. So this company, Icefox, actually reached out to us so that we can show off their 4K action camera. In this video, we're going to be talking about the specs and the attachments that this camera features.
And then we're going to go on a few short adventures to show off the camera and the Snap Pro app that it features.
Finally, we're going to wrap up the video with a review and talk about how we felt about this camera. And just to be straight up with you guys, this is not a fancy camera at all. It has just a few buttons. It's pretty straightforward and easy to use, which I do really like about that. But the best part, it's under $100. So it isn't really going to compete with like GoPros and DJI cameras, but it's a really good budget option. So just to start off, the biggest thing and the best thing about this camera, it is actually 4K and 60 FPS, which honestly a lot of cameras in this price range don't really come with that. So that does get a lot of people's attention. It's about the same as every other brand, even though it is a budget version and it's, like I said, not going to compete with like GoPros and stuff like that. It is really good quality for how much you're paying.
Next, this thing does come with a waterproof case, and when you're using the waterproof case for it, it comes with up to 98 feet of waterproof protection.
So for other people out there who do adventures like snowboarding, surfing, stuff like that, it's a really good option just to have as a backup even, just because you can use that waterproof case and obviously have peace of mind that nothing's going to happen to the camera.
Next, this thing comes with 4 hours of long-lasting battery, which is comparable to other name brand cameras, which is really good.
Alright, and then the next thing we want to talk about is the accessories that it actually comes with, and there are honestly so many that I can't remember them all, so I'm going to read them off this list. So it comes with 2 batteries, of course, so each battery offers up to 2 hours battery life, so 4 in total. Just depending on what settings you're using, it's give or take a little bit. It includes a bicycle mount, a 360-degree rotating screw, which does help when you're using adapters to connect to stuff like a GoPro mount or, really any other brand's mount. Release buckles, 2 long thumb screws, an extension mount, a J-hook mount, a bandage, and 2 more adapters for it. It also came with a couple of adhesive pads, so if you want to connect it to something like a helmet or a car dashboard, really any other thing that is just flat, you could connect it. It did also come with a bracelet remote, which is pretty sweet if you don't actually have access to the camera. Let's say it's like on your head or something and you're out biking. You can keep it up there and have this little bracelet on where you can start and stop the camera at any time.
But otherwise, let's get into testing this thing out.
Our first adventure of the day is Colo Bike Park in Asheville, North Carolina.
While Caden's driving, I decided that I'm going to check out the camera and all it has to offer. Getting started was pretty easy because it does have a touchscreen and Wi-Fi connectivity to your phone. Once you take a video, you're immediately able to view it on the Snap Pro app, and here was the first clip that we got. Our first impressions of it were pretty good, but being that it is a budget camera, it does have some trouble adjusting to the light.
Alright, so we are here at the Colo Bike Park. It's at the Asheville Adventure Park, so it's a pretty cool spot. They have like zip lining, bike courses, stuff like that. So it's going to be pretty fun. We've got the bikes here, we're about to get them unloaded, and then we're gonna figure out what mount we're gonna use for the camera. We have like bike handlebar mounts and we have a couple chest mounts, so we're gonna kind of rotate through and just check out the quality of this camera. We've already messed with it a little bit, and it seems like one of the downsides to a budget action camera like this is the microphones. So normally we use these DJI microphones for our vlogging and everything, but with this, there's not really a way to connect a microphone like that unless it's out of this case, which right now, because we're using the mounts, we have to use the case. So if you notice any issues hearing us, stuff like that, that is why. All right, so here is the setup that we've got going on. We both have a chest mount, and then my brother, who already left, he's just too excited to start biking, has a mount on the front of his bike. So we're all gonna take turns just kind of recording, going through all of us and test out the camera. It's mainly just gonna be videos of it, just because, like I said, the mic isn't too great on it. So we're just gonna be testing out the video quality, and then at the end of this, we're just gonna give a quick review of it. The chest mounts that we were using weren't made directly for this Icefox camera, so we didn't realize until we're actually watching back the videos that the camera was at the wrong angle. We definitely got some good clips, as you can see.
Oh my gosh. Are you really okay? This is just battle scars. Oh my. It's crooked.
But sadly, most of our time spent here, the camera was just facing our handlebars. So I guess this is the point of view of my nipples while I'm going around the pump track. And yeah, ignore my noises. Even with this weird angle, you can see that the colors and everything look pretty good with this camera. But of course, it would look better if I set the camera up right. Sorry about that. But then it was Hannah's turn. And trust me, this is not cut at all. She actually finishes it this fast. But this did give us a good opportunity to see what it looks like upright. After that, I got some pretty good handlebar shots of me hitting some jumps. But
but then we had some bad news.
So just our luck, we're only like an hour into us riding and my bike is broken. It's not shifting right and we're struggling. It's been rough because we basically just did one quick trail and then we did like the pump track and stuff like that. The camera is doing great so far. Obviously, like I said, the microphone probably isn't sounding too great, but picture quality wise, it looks like it's doing good. And it definitely would work as a budget backup camera, something like that for any content creators out there. But we are gonna head to REI and we're gonna search for a new bike for me because I don't think I can handle this anymore. But before I just go spend $1,000 on a bike, I am gonna look at how much it would cost for REI to repair it for me and see what they can do. But if it's gonna be too expensive, then if it's already a couple $100, I may as well just go ahead and buy a new bike. So we're gonna go check on that. Okay, so we made it to REI, got the bike and everything. I'm walking in now. The guy in here said that he could just take a look at it for free and see how much it would cost to actually fix it up. But just based on that, we're gonna see would it be better for me to just buy a new one or get it fixed up. But we'll keep you updated.
Okay, we just got out of REI. The guy looked at Caden's bike for a while and they came to the conclusion that it needs a new like fork or something, and then it needs new brakes. It needs like new everything. And basically for all of that, it would have been like $258. And to buy a new bike would just be like, they had some in there for like $600. So we're just thinking about it for now. We didn't do anything. We didn't buy anything today. Right now we're kind of just trying to decide, would it be worth it to try and fix the bike or should we just get a new one? Caden's riding the bike around right now. I don't know where he went. He's somewhere over there. But yeah, that's what we decided. There he is. Look at him go.
They'll probably do.
Yeah?
Probably for now. Sadly, now we have to go pick our brothers up. They've just been riding their bikes around while we've been in REI searching for a new bike. We did let them keep the cameras on their bikes while we were gone, so we're gonna see what kind of footage they got and see how it went.
Lucky for us, our brothers were nice enough to get some clips for us while we were gone, which started with them refueling or something.
Wait, alright, tell them what we got. Tell them what we got.
I just got a rotisserie chicken.
We did.
I did. I paid for it.
We bought it.
I'm the one who bought it.
Sorry, he doesn't know how to use these
Shut up.
utensils.
What exactly they refueled for, we don't know, because the first clip that we watched was them walking up a hill. They have bikes, what are they doing? Like we talked about earlier, you see the same issue here with the sun. It seems like when the sun is super bright, you need to change the settings a little bit just so it can adjust to the brightness, which sadly they didn't do in this instance.
Once they finally made it to the top of the hill, they actually got into some mountain biking. Well, that is until they crashed into each other. Honestly, I'm starting to think they like each other. That was all for mountain biking, and then we got into a new adventure. And this is where things change for us.
Alright, we are currently hiking on Water Rock Knob Trail. Honestly, it's looking pretty good. It's really nice because you can just connect it to any tripod or anything like that just so you can get good shots with it. And as you can see, I'm using a front camera on it, which we'll show a little clip of that.
We continued to use the camera throughout our hike and we started to like it more and more. The entire time we used it while mountain biking, we were using the waterproof case, but this time we had nothing on it. It was connected directly to a tripod, which meant the camera had no protection. But that also meant that the microphone was much better, which definitely added points to the overall rating of this camera. As we continued our hike, we got more and more clips of just random things.
Bumblebee. So fancy, even though there's literally like no background at all. It's just like fancy. It's fun to like have an actual action camera.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that scared me.
What?
There was a bird, but it was right next to us.
Go.
By the time we finished our hike, the sun was starting to set down in the parking lot where we started. We had the same problem as earlier with the sun saturating the entire screen, but after messing with some settings, it looks great.
Oh yeah, that's a lot better. You can like see their sun rays now.
Of course, the colors and things don't pop quite as much as a regular camera, but again, this is pretty good for a budget camera, and it reminded us a lot of a digital camera. After hanging out for a while, we decided to set our camera and our phone up for a side-by-side time-lapse. It was pretty easy since the camera already has a time-lapse feature built in. But first, here's the time-lapse on the phone. And here's the one on the Icefox camera. After that, we got a few clips around our RV. If you guys don't know, our entire channel is based around this RV. Hannah and I have been working very hard to convert this thing into our home so we can start traveling the country this fall. So we got a few clips to the outside and then went inside. I don't know who got this clip of our toes. Wait, it was me. We even lit up this candle to see what it would look like with more lighting. And honestly, it wasn't too bad.
Don't blame the camera for it being so dark. All the lights were off in the RV. But it honestly does seem like it adjusted well. The last thing we tried was some up-close shots with our new stickers that you can find on hkoffgrid.com. And that brings us to our next topic. Caden and I actually just started our very own business. We're currently only selling stickers, but soon plan to sell other adventure-inspired products.
We just got back from all of our adventures, and now Hannah and I are both individually going to give our opinions on this camera and just talk about how we felt. So when we were doing all the recording, I feel like I used the camera a little bit more than Hannah, just because one of the adventures we went on, obviously you saw it was a hike, and Hannah had her actual camera with her to take pictures, so I was just kind of recording random stuff with it. I did really enjoy it. Honestly, the only downside to it was it's kind of hard to adjust the color settings and stuff. So we watched like a sunset, we walked through the woods a whole lot. So when you're walking in and out of like shadows, stuff like that, it is kind of hard to tell, you know, what's what sometimes. I do really like how many accessories it came with. It does help a lot because you look at like a GoPro or a DJI camera and there is nothing that it comes with. You have to spend like an extra $100-$150 just to get their like creator pack, which doesn't really come with much of anything other than like a tripod. So if you do get something like this, honestly, the only thing you really need is a tripod. You can get something from like Best Buy for like 20 bucks and it comes with a whole bunch of other accessories to mount to stuff, but you probably won't even need it. My final thoughts on it, if you guys are in a situation like us where you kind of are just on a budget, you don't want to drop 500 bucks on a camera, I would say go for it. And if you're not in that situation and you have the money to spend on a nice camera, I would say get one of these just as your backup, just because if you're out on a trip, snowboarding, something like that, you don't want to have the chance of like your DJI camera breaking and then having to go buy another one. You could have something like this for an additional 100 bucks or less, depending on the discount it has, and you're all set. You don't really need much else. Just because it's a nice backup, you don't really need to spend another $500 on a second camera when you could have something like this. So I would definitely recommend it to anybody in our situation.
Alright, now for my thoughts. I've never had an action camera before, so for this being my first ever one, I think it was pretty good, especially since it was literally less than 100 bucks. I think as for the camera quality, it was pretty good. Nothing like super crazy or anything. Like, it is still a budget camera. I think the audio could be a little better. Like, I know whenever we had the waterproof case on it, it didn't really pick up the audio super well, but that's honestly like the least of my concerns. And a lot of the stuff like that, you can just, like, if it's really that big of a deal, you can just do a voiceover anyhow, so I'm really not worried about that. And it was really nice having a screen on the front and the back, and this thing is also super easy to navigate. It only comes with 3 little buttons, which makes my life super easy, and there's just minimal settings on the screen. It's very easy to use. And lastly, going off of what Caden said, this is a very good little camera for the price, and if you want to check it out, the link will be in our description.
We do just want to thank Icefox for sending us his camera and letting us try it out. It will be helpful in our adventures in the future. We're definitely going to be using it for some of our videos, especially when it comes to wintertime when we're going to be snowboarding. It's going to be nice for, even if one of us gets a GoPro, for the other person to have a budget camera like this just to get a second POV. So thank you to you, Icefox. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and stay tuned because there are so many more adventures coming so soon.
Thanks for watching! Are you okay?
Sorry.